Welcome to the D Word Podcast. The name is Deon, and today I want to talk about how many real friends do you have? Like, really, how many friends do you really have? And if I were to ask you, what is your friendship built on? You would say trust, communication, connection, and lots of memories to be created, right? That's what builds good friendship. But sometimes life happens and friendships dip or friendships die. It's okay if friendships die. I recently connected with somebody who I was really close with in my teenage years, going into my early 20s. And we shared such a great connection in those years. We did so much of things together. We hanged out together. We did stuff together. We talked about our life goals. We talked about where we wanted to be together. And we both supported each other in whatever we believed in. But as we get older, you tend to forget about people and life happens. And that's okay. Maybe the person moves away or you find, a different fold of people to hang out with. Whatever it is, it's part of life. This particular person moved away and we just lost connection. And I connected with him now after like 10 to 11 years. Now, let me just put this into perspective with you. When I met the guy after 10, 11 years, he was with a group of other people. And he acted as if we were the same friends we were 10, 11 years ago. And he connected back as if nothing happened. And I was like, firstly, you are introducing me to your other friends who are your friends because you're hanging out with them. I'm not hanging out with you. I'm just bumping past you. And you are saying that I'm your friend. But actually, you are not my friend. You were my friend. It doesn't mean you have the same T's and C's as to what the friendship had back then. Because there was a disconnection for 10, 11 years, I still know you, but I don't really think you are my friend. You are an acquaintance. Now, you can say, oh, what will people think? There comes a point in your life where you need to look at yourself and say, what is important to you? Are you self-aware to understand that sometimes friendships may expire and that's okay? You can't be a people pleaser or what will people say? That is nonsense. What you feel is more important than what people will say. So in that situation, when I said that, he was like, what do you mean? I said, dude, I don't even have your number anymore. We haven't talked in over 10, 11 years. So much has happened in my life in that time. So much has happened in your life. I don't even know what has happened in your life. You don't even know what has happened in my life. When I said it like that, he kind of understood that when I mentioned he is an acquaintance, he was once a friend. He said, yes, you are right. I am an acquaintance. I was your friend. I know it was sad to even talk about that point, but that is the illustration for us today. You could know someone for many years, but are they really your friend? Do they do the same things? Is the maintenance mutual? The connection mutual? Is the trust there? Sometimes you may know someone for so many years and you may have trusted them when you're younger, but as you get older, things happen. But it doesn't mean they still have the same access to what you once gave them, especially if both of you have moved on with your life. You need to be self-aware of this. Now, I'm going to give you a small little test of how you can test people who really are your friend versus people who have moved into being just an acquaintance. You ready? Let's do this. Pick up your mobile device, right? Scroll through your contact list. Pick someone's name randomly, right? Look at the name and ask yourself, when last have you had a conversation with this person? If you don't know when, that is an example of somebody who's no longer your friend, but an acquaintance. Or go one deeper. If you pick up someone's name randomly on your contact list, ask yourself, do I actually know what's going on in that person's life? Do I actually know, are they married? Do they have a family? Are they here? What's going on in their life personally? If you can't answer those questions and you say they are your friend, they're not really your friend. They're just an acquaintance, because a friend would know everything that's happening in someone's life and vice versa. So those are two different things. And it's okay to be self-aware to identify who is your friend and who is not your friend. I call it a friend stock take. It's okay to do it now and again. But I'm going to push it another step further. Using social media, you can also identify people who are no longer your friends, but they're still there. Whenever you are celebrating wins in your life, right, and maybe you post it on social media. Social media can be your friend, where you can see if people are watching your stories on Instagram but don't even congratulate you when you get something. passive aggressiveness is real. They could be like, why that person? Sometimes I meet people who I know personally, but I know deep in their heart they don't really like me. And how I know this is because I'm self-aware how they behave, how they act, and how they respond when I communicate with them. Now, that could be for you as well. Watch who you talk to. Watch what you say to the person and listen how they react. You can pick up a lot about a person's behavior, and how they respond to you is the key element as to how valuable you are to them or what they really think of you. If you never really did a friend stock take before, do one right now. Life's too short to have excess baggage lying around. The ones that are truly your friends will care about you. They will want to know about you. They will do it without wanting anything back. But if you have people like that in your life, make sure you also are there for them. Make sure you also lend that helping hand. It's a two-way street when it comes to friendship. But if you have the friendship with your partner or your spouse, that's even better, because the best friendships are with people who you share life with. I know people always say when you get married, sometimes you forget people. It happens to most people. But if you marry your best friend, then that's a bonus now, I can carry on talking more about friendship, but I want to leave this with you. Do a friendship stock take. You don't have to wait for the year to end to do a friendship stock take. Do a friendship stock take right now and ask yourself, how many friends do I have in my life that I actually can count on? And if you can count a few, awesome. Keep them close. But then ask yourself, do they also regard me in the same light as the way I regard them? And if that is not the correct way you want to be treated, then maybe you got some decisions to make. You don't have to have expired friendships hovering around in your life. If you want to move forward in life, you got to value the people that care about you and value the people that respect you and treat you well and keep them close. The ones that actually don't care but are selfish about what they want, only call you when they want something, they are not really your friend. They are a good example of what an acquaintance is all about. I want to talk more about this in other podcasts in weeks to come, but I felt that I needed to lay a foundation in today's podcast. If you have friendship, it is amazing. Friendship is free. Friendship is about connecting with people, sharing, creating memories. But sometimes it's okay when friendship and the season has ended. Be self-aware to understand that maybe when you were friends, you shared a lot, you told a lot about yourself to the person, but if you're no longer connected to the person, maybe by phone or hanging out, remember that the access point of what you offered the person when you were friends is no longer valuable to that person or to you, or what you do to that person. Because when someone's an acquaintance, they don't deserve all the things that you gave when you are your friend or they are your friend. So remember that, right? Acquaintances is somebody who's not really close to you. You know them by sight. You share with them stuff, but not enough. You got to have some boundaries in what you share. But a friend, on the other hand, is somebody who you know very well. If I were to ask you what's going on in their life personally, you will be able to give the answer. But if you don't know the answer, then obviously evaluate. Friendship is not just about hanging out with somebody. It's about sharing, connecting, and just creating memories together. Just creating it. And it's okay if you don't have that. Some of us will have friendships that last a very long time, and some of us may have friendships that just dip. But be self-aware of the ones that are lasting, respect them, vice versa, and the ones that are dipped, well, do a stock take and make the changes. Not everybody in life wants to do it. Some people are like, I don't want to upset somebody. Well, end of the day, your mental health is more important than upsetting somebody else. So be self-aware about who values you, who you value, and who does it mutually. And the rest, well, I'll leave it up to you to decide what is good for you. I personally, I actually am very self-aware where I always tell people, if I know you, you know things about me. And if I don't know you well, don't ask me something personal, because I'm never going to give you the answer, because I don't know you that well. I may know you by sight, but if you're not my friend, you don't have no rights to ask me something personal. It's just the way it is. And that's what I tell people. And they say, oh, but why? Because if our connection is no longer there, that is your answer. You don't know anybody anything. So do a stock take today. Look at your contact list on your phone. Ask yourself when last randomly you pick up someone's number, when last you chatted, when last you shared things, when last did you know anything that's happening in this person's life. And if you don't know when last you connected to a particular person randomly, then that is a good example of a friendship that's changed into an acquaintance. Sometimes an acquaintance can convert into a friendship depending how the person looks at you, how the person talks to you, and what the person shares with you. It comes back to being self-aware of people around you, who you talk to, who you connect with. If you hang out with somebody on social media and you like their pictures, they like your pictures, they're not your friend as well. They're just an acquaintance. But if you connect, you share, and you know things about that person, and they also know things about you, and they genuinely care, and you care too, and that, my friend, is a friend. And those are the ones that no matter what happens, no matter what life brings, they will find a way to be connected with you, because that is what real friendship is all about. I hope you enjoyed today's podcast. It was a bit of a short one. I will be doing more. If you've been checking out my podcast on Spotify, great. If you've been listening to it on other platforms as well, great. And if you've been watching it on YouTube, do consider subscribing to my channel for more podcasts. Have a great day, night, or morning. Until next time, take care.